Some of you may think, wow, he went through a whole lot of stuff just to make this one point. Well, because otherwise you wouldn't understand that one point in the right context. Okay, Paul, unlike everybody else in Scripture, is addressing issues with his congregations, with his assemblies. And so there's a point to what he says, not a random point, not just giving a message in general, but he's addressing something. And he's choosing to address the something in a particular way. He's trying to use it, hitting certain issues and comments and trying to get your attention in some way. So we have to, it's incumbent upon us to understand what is the issue. In other words, what is the point? The other issue that Paul's dealing with, okay, a split or a rift between those born in and those not born in. The second rift that we have is the same thing we have today. That was for them, this is for us. This is new, this is different, things are different now. And he's trying to say, hold on, that's not true. He's saying, look, those people, our fathers, were under the cloud. They all passed through the sea. They all were immersed into Moshe. Immersed into Moshe meaning they were immersed into Torah observance. That's what he's saying there. That's his metaphor, his idiom for they were all immersed into the covenant. These people are examples to us so you can see what happens when you want to do it your way instead of his way. We also have examples, by the way, of those who chose to do it his way. We see when the 12 go out, only 2 come back wanting to do it his way, wanting to see it his way, wanting to appreciate and understand it his way, see it through his eyes, not through our eyes. As a matter of fact, that's probably a big problem for most of us. When you want to go and look at things, you should be making sure you're looking through it through his eyes, not yours. You will tend to see things less clearly than you should, not as accurately as you should, through the filters of your personal preferences, the me, I. Are the things that you're facing in your life that you're still using your eyes and not his eyes? Through his eyes, and I've counseled this a lot lately, and if I'm talking about you, well, I am. I'm also talking about a lot of people that are not you. Many of you still don't think you can do this. Why would he pick me? No, don't ask the question why, except the fact that he did. Stop with the why. You wouldn't have picked you. Well, thank you, you're not the one doing the picking. Problem is, you haven't forgiven you. You haven't released all that stuff. You are not the person you were. And when he called you, he knew you could be a different person. He knew you could grow, that you could become what he, through his eyes, could see you being. Let him beware that if he thinks he stands, let him take heed lest he fall. There were those, can we understand it, in Corinth. There are those today, those in Galatia, those in Ephesus, those all over the place who started to be full of themselves. Think they've arrived, think that they understand everything, think that they can make their own choices, and forget the umbilical cord they need to have directly to their Messiah and to the Father, and start feeding themselves and not continuing to imbibe and eat and be fed by the spiritual food, but taking on the fleshly physical food. He says they start to think that they've arrived. They think they stand. Why is he saying that after these other things? Because he's acknowledging that the world you live in will make it tough to make the choice to eat the spiritual food and not the fleshly food. Will make it tough to walk the righteous walk and not the worldly walk. And he's saying, so that will be a trial to you. The I want, I desire, I don't like, I don't want is going to create a trial for you in the face of what he says. Because when your I want or your I don't want is in conflict to what he says, you're going to find yourself in a challenge, in a trial. All Yahweh gives you and Messiah gives you together, the Father and the Son give you is an opportunity. That's all they're giving you. An opportunity to have life, and life abundantly and forever. The rest of it's in your hands. What are you going to do with the opportunity? Now, the opportunity is not just like, okay, I choose it and then you get it. No, you have to go on the way that provides. He says he makes a way. In the Hebrew, this is the derech, or the path, or the halakha, the walk. He provides a way. Are you ready to embrace this? Are you ready to embrace that he's called you because you can, but he's only given you the opportunity if you choose to embrace it? He allows you to go through stuff, but he always provides a way of escape if you choose to look for it and seek it and know it's there, instead of panicking and freaking out and thinking, I'm done. Why? Look for it knowing it's there. I've had people leave and I wonder, why do you leave? Where are you going? Where do you have to go? It's Shabbat. Now, I know emergencies do happen, etc., but generally speaking, why would there be any place you would rather be than with each other? Eating of the spiritual food, drinking of the spiritual drink, and fellowshipping with the spiritual fellowship. And by spiritual, let me redefine again so we're clear. In other words, these things that are at the height of fullness of what they were intended. We're drinking more fully of what he intended, we're eating more fully of what he intended, and we're fellowshipping in a more full way as he intended. To do all to the honor of Elohim. Is it honoring Elohim to break a commandment? No. So now we have more. Remember we talked about framing. Stuff that fits in between has to fit the point. So now we have a little framing going on here. Everything Paul said has to be framed within do all to the esteem. Not because you say, to your glory, Elohim, but because it actually honors him and glorifies him, not because you say it.